Okay, in this demonstration, I'm going to be showing you a tour of the LEGO Mindstorm's Education EV3 classroom. So when you first open the software that you've downloaded onto your Chromebooks, you will see a screen that looks something like this. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to give you a tour by just highlighting some of the most common things that you're going to be doing, such as movements, events, controls, and sensors. Also, I'm going to be showing you how to connect Bluetooth to the robot itself and how to download any programs from your robot and back and forth to the Chromebooks. So here we go. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start by going to a new project. And you'll notice on this screen that at the top here you'll see a little icon that looks like the EV3 brick, and it says to connect on there. So the first thing you want to do is figure out what number is associated with your robot. All the robots have numbers labeled on the front. The one that I'm currently using has a number 6 on the front. So when I click on this connection, it's going to look for robots that are nearby. And this one here happens to show a number 6. So I'm going to click connect. And then it says to accept the connection. The default is numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to move over to the check mark on my robot and click the enter button. 1, 2, 3, 4 is already in there, so I'm going to click on the enter button once again. And now I have a connection to robot number 6. Okay, so I just saw something show up that says brick successfully connected to my software here. So now what you'll see at the top of the screen is the same icon with a green light on it indicating that you are connected Bluetooth. And next to that is what's called the port view. And that means that it's showing you what's connected to these ports on the brick. So what port B and C are showing are the 2 motors that will control the wheels. Okay, this port A is the medium-sized motor, which will control the arm that goes up and down in the front of the robot itself. And in number 3, this is what's shown as the color sensor. Okay, so that's what your port view is here. It shows you what's plugged into each port. And this green light indicates that you are in fact connected. So that's Bluetooth connection. The next thing I wanted to show you was just a basic overview of the choices along the left side of your screen. What's nice about this is it mimics what is commonly used in Scratch coding, but all of these controls are specifically tailored to the robot itself. So the first thing they show us is the motors, and these are all of our motor selections. This is where you can choose motors between the left, the right wheels, and also the medium-sized motor that raises and lowers the arm. The next one is the movements. Okay, in movements, we can set things like speed for your robot here. We can set it to move forward or reverse, and we can also change how it moves between rotations of the wheels, the number of degrees that the wheel rotates, or the number of seconds that the wheels are rotating for. Okay, so movements is very important. We'll be using that quite a bit. The next most important one I wanted to cover was events. Events is where you're going to find things like when the program starts. And that's important because if you don't have that, the program won't start. So that's a very important button that you will find here. The next one I really wanted to show you was controls. Controls are where you're going to find things like the wait block, where you can wait a second in between different movements. You can also find the repeat block in here if you wanted to repeat something a certain number of times, or indefinitely for infinity. Okay. You also have your if-then blocks in here if you ever need to use one of those. And lastly, I wanted to show the sensors. So the sensors that we're using You're going to be using ultrasonic sensors. You're going to be using color sensors, possibly even a touch sensor. So this is the area where you're going to access all of those different sensors, okay? And you'll notice that the icons that's shown in the beginning of these blocks will indicate which sensor they are for. For example, the ones up here, this is the color and light sensor. If you go down a little ways, this is a touch sensor. The next one is the ultrasonic sensor. And I believe, you have gyro sensors, which we will not be using. So I believe the ones that we'll most commonly be using are the color sensor and the possibly the touch sensor and the ultrasonic sensor. So besides that, I got the port views up at the top. I got the indication at the top that shows that you're connected Bluetooth. You have your choices of your list on the left-hand side between movements, events, controls, and sensors. And in the next demonstration, we'll start to use the software to show you how to move the robot forward and backwards. And in doing so, we can calculate any distance we want to travel. So until the next time, enjoy.